Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Now, we're getting ready for Halloween, but I know right after Halloween we're going into Thanksgiving. Pumpkin and nuts are extremely important at that time of the season because the nuts have been harvested, the pumpkin has been harvested and things like that. So a lot of vegetables and stuff will be harvested. So this is a tea bread that I'm making. It's made with cornmeal pumpkin tea bread with toasted walnuts. And I think that would be nice for autumn as we get further into autumn and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Okay, so in a medium bowl, and you know what I forgot? My measuring cups. I brought everything out but measuring cups. I am so bad about that. So we're going to put some dry ingredients together in a bowl and we're going to be setting it aside because we have to do a lot of different things. And then we put the whole thing together, if done right. Okay, let's see. They want me to put flour, cornmeal, baking powder. Okay, we got that. The flour is going to be 1 1/4 cups. And this is all-purpose flour that we're using. Okay, we got that, 1 1/4. We're going to add a tablespoon of wheat germ. It can be raw or toasted. This time I'm going to use toasted. If I was making a cake, I would be using brewer's yeast, which is a food yeast, and not the kind you make bread with, to take the place of that, because I wouldn't want the cake to taste like bread. I'm very careful about that. Okay, we got the flour. We need 1/4 cup of yellow cornmeal. You can use white. You don't have to buy yellow for this recipe. Either one will do quite well. Everything over here because it's crowded again. All right, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now, I have to talk to you to make sure you do this right. If you make your own baking powder, the next ingredient, do not put it in. If you buy your baking powder from the store, you're going to have to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, the reason the difference is when you make your own baking powder, it's made with cream of tartar, cornstarch, and baking soda. Now, they add aluminum into the baking powder that you buy at the store to retard the baking soda from foaming up. You see? There's a trick to it. So, when you use baking soda and baking powder, because you buy them at the store, you'll notice when you put the baking liquid in where the baking soda is, it starts to get that lift right away. Then when you put it in the oven, the heat will react with the aluminum and help the baking powder rise so you have a lighter texture. They're finding out aluminum is giving the body a lot of problems. So I did research and got the recipe to make your own baking powder. So if you make your own baking powder, you have to eliminate the baking soda in the recipes, or what happens is you end up with too many air bubbles popping up, going boom, boom, boom. That's what makes your breads and your muffins and everything rise, are those little air bubbles. But yeast makes the bubbles in breads, whereas quick breads and stuff like that, like coffee cakes, tea breads, cookies and stuff, it helps them go up. But if you have if you make your homemade baking powder and buy baking soda, and you put those two in the recipe, what happens is it keeps exploding, but you run out of the dough to hold it. And so what happens is it goes up, 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 and then it collapses in and then spills. That's why if you're making your own baking powder, I'm always telling you minus the baking soda in the recipes. If you buy your baking powder at the store, you're going to have to add the baking soda. All right, now we need 1 teaspoon salt. Oh. Sure you want 1 teaspoon? Okay, 1 teaspoon salt coming up. That's why I have to read some recipes to you, because I don't put it in anymore. I finally, after much work, research, I found the recipe so I could sit there and not use it. I did a video on it. If you want to make yours, if you can't find it, leave a note in the comments and I will do another one and show you how to make it. Okay, that was 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now we need 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And you are going to need 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. You know, I don't get a lot of recipes with allspice, and I love the smell of allspice. It smells so good. I love the holidays. If nothing else, I get these smells that don't normally get throughout the year, so I enjoy them tremendously. Put your oven on to 350 degrees and make sure your shelf is in the middle. If it's not in the middle and you have it high, it won't cook. If you have it too low, it's going to burn. So you've got to make sure you get it in the middle for tea breads. All right, what else do I want? I don't think I want anything else, so I'll whisk this together. I'm just mixing it all together, that's all. It's dry, there's nothing in it. You just want to make sure the seasonings are well blended. You can use a fork, you can use a spoon, you can use your hand, just make sure it's well mixed. All right, like I say, put it to the side. Now, what do they want from me? Okay. All right, in a bowl, I know, I go all over the place. We are going to add, what do you want in it? We're going to put the eggs in a bowl. People don't believe me, but I keep 6 dozen eggs in the refrigerator every week. Some days I don't use them, and other days I go straight through them. You do not know how many eggs are in so many things that you make. All right, the 2 sugars, we need 1 cup of white sugar. Okay, take care of that. And we need 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. I'm putting it all in this bowl. Don't forget to pack it in, because of the kind of sugar it is, you have to pack it. Okay, now what do they want? They want 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. So whichever one you want to use. The one I'm using is, how much do I want? 1/2 cup. Okay. 1/2 cup. I always use corn oil when it's just a regular one. And you need 1/3 of a cup of water, 1/3 of a cup of water. And then we're gonna have to get the pumpkin out. What else do you want that I missed? All right. I got nuts. I have my pumpkin here, but I have to mash it up. I had canned my own pumpkin, had it over there draining. What am I going to do with the liquid? I'm going to stick it into my stock, so I'm going to use it. I'm not going to waste it. And they want 1 cup of canned pumpkin. Now you have to say that is sheer luck. That 1 jar was actually 1 cup. Put that into your egg mixture, egg and oil and stuff. And you're gonna mix this up. Then we're gonna put it on the side. Okay. Be right back. Okay, you need 1 cup of walnuts, because we're going to be toasting them, and then we're going to be chopping them up, and then we'll be putting the dish together. I found a French version of this recipe, which is so different than what we do. I said, ooh, I'll have to try it there too. All right, you notice I put them in a dry frying pan, no oil. They just want us to just toast them a little. Now this is only going to take a couple of minutes. I mean, don't leave them a long time, and don't leave them alone, because I'm quick to leave them. So I'm only letting you know through my mistakes, if you don't know how many nuts I've burnt, don't leave them. Toss them around until they're a little toasted. Just take a few minutes. Let's get my cookbook out of here before I cook it too. You're just going to get a little darker than what they are. I should put my cookbook here so I can see what I'm doing. And you notice I left the nuts alone again. I'm notorious for doing that. Okay, so I'm going to be here just a couple of minutes and I'll be back. Okay, here are my nuts. I think they want to coarsely chopped. Your glasses, Sandra. Keep that page down. Yeah, they want them coarsely chopped. They don't want them really finely chopped, because if you do that, you won't be able to find them in the bread. I don't even know what they call tea breads anymore. I grew up knowing them as tea breads. Now, because this is a tea bread, you know we're going to have to add a little bit of flour to these nuts. So when you put them into the batter, they'll be suspended, because the batter will hold on to the flour that you're going to put on. You don't need a lot. About this much. You just put it in. And once they're coated, believe you me, that batter will hold them. And they won't sink to the bottom. My sons are finally complaining, Mommy, we don't have anything to snack on. I said, I know, I've been cleaning. What do you expect? Okay. Beat together the eggs. Yeah, we could do all that. Okay, I could do that. You can use an electric mixer or a whisk. We want you to beat together the eggs, the 2 sugars, the pumpkin oil, and 1/3 cup of water, which we just did. These are the whites. I don't need those. Where did I put? Okay. Now they want you to add the flour to this pumpkin mixture and whisk or beat until well mixed. It says do not overbeat. That's why I'm not using an electric mixer, because I know what I'll do. Use a spatula, but first they want us to stir these in. The nuts they want us to stir in. As you can see, it was more just getting things together in each container. You're going to need a 9x5, which is a 1.5 pound loaf pan. And we are going to pour this in. Now we're going to bake this for 1 hour or until you get a toothpick into the center and it comes out dry and clean. They usually say when it comes out, and I love this, they said, insert into the center of the bread and it comes out clean. It can be clean, but you might see some wet dough on it, so always make sure that you check that thoroughly. So in an hour, that should be done. Now something about tea breads, I'm going to tell you, and I'll probably show you at the same when it's time. When tea breads are done, you cannot take them out of the pan. You put them on a rack to cool for 10 minutes. and then gently turn it. If it looks like it's going to stick, take a flat knife. That's usually a knife that you use to frost cakes. You've seen me use mine. I'm not very good when I did the cupcakes. The thing is that you run it along the side. If it doesn't come out, and then tilt it. If it still doesn't come out, that means it's stuck. You didn't grease it well on the bottom. You put the rack on top of the tea bread if it doesn't go over the top. Take it and flip the pan and the rack over, and then tap the bottom and see if you can shake it free. Those are a few tricks that I did learn, and I'm sharing those with you. So when it's done, I'll see you. Okay, I just took it out of the oven. We're going to give it a 10-15 minute break, and then we're going to take it out of this pan properly. Okay, here we go, trying to get it out. I'm not surprised. Now we have to leave this on its side and let it, I'm going to set it right side and let it cool. That's what it's going to have to do. This is a moist tea bread. And that's it. So take care. Oh, there goes my hair again. I was out in the garden. But take care and have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.